is this the first ASA chapter here around this area? I mean, what's
in
the
Western North Carolina.
In Western North Carolina?
In Polk County, I spoke with her, and I'll tell you what she has to say coming up on News 13 at 5:30.
It gives me a quality of life I couldn't have any other way.
A local woman sings the praises of pot and organizes a mountain chapter of a national support group for medical marijuana. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tammy Watford.
And I'm Larry Blunt. Jean Marlowe says she could not do it without marijuana. Her doctor agrees with her, but the law does not. News 13's Jeremy Butterfield's live in our Rutherford News Center. Jeremy, Marlowe is looking for others who share her feelings about medical marijuana.
She is. Just 4 days ago, she received permission from a national medical marijuana advocacy group to start a local chapter, and now she's looking forward to spreading her good news about cannabis.
Patients are arrested, they're prosecuted, they're persecuted, they're ridiculed.
And Jean Marlowe would know. She's one of them. Marlowe says her medical conditions leave her with no other choice than to use marijuana.
Almost everything causes an extreme nausea. But cannabis does it without making you sick at your stomach. The only side effect to cannabis that is devastating or harmful is the fact that it's illegal.
But Marlowe hopes to change that and is gathering support in the mountains to do it. She recently organized the Western North Carolina chapter of the Americans for Safe Access Group, a nationwide medical marijuana advocacy organization.
We act as the first responders in a case of a patient being arrested. And all that the Americans for Safe Access is trying to do is to get safe and legal access for patients. That's all.
At one time, Marlowe's marijuana was provided by her ex-husband, but a recent Polk County Sheriff's Office raid put a stop to that.
And the police officers went in and busted it, and they didn't find anything but my medicine.
If asked to, I'd vote for her again.
The Marlowes say Steve's arrest is an example of what the ASA will fight against in Western North Carolina.
These mountains have been rich in history for the medicines that have come out of these mountains for years. It's not just cannabis, but cannabis was around here in these mountains and used for medicine before it became illegal.
And Marlowe says the ASA is planning to hold petition drives in all 100 North Carolina counties to ask state legislators to protect those who use medical marijuana. And they're also asking Congress to change its status, its look at marijuana, to ensure that more users can use it as a medical purpose. Live from the Rutherford News Center, I'm Jeremy Butterfield, News 13.
So what do you think? News 13 wants to know, should marijuana be legalized for medical purposes? Well, just log on to WLOS.com and vote in today's web poll.
Chapter Director, okay.
The Americans for Safe Access.
Okay. Well, I mean, the reason I'm here, obviously, is because this is a brand new chapter here in this area. Tell me a little bit about it. Why'd you want to start this chapter here?
I believe that patients throughout the nation, not just in Western North Carolina, but across the nation, need protection from misinformation and bad laws. Patients are arrested, they're prosecuted, they're persecuted, they're ridiculed. If a patient happens to have to go to jail and they're charged and convicted, if they have a drug felony, they're never again can they have food stamps, public housing, particular jobs. All of this because they're sick and because Congress will not reschedule marijuana so that doctors can write prescriptions. We feel that it's important to bring the research out. Now the research is getting out, and even the DEA has begun to ask Congress, well, can you reschedule? There's that breast cancer stuff. Yeah, it shows the ASA page. So we feel it's important now, above all, to start a patients' union, to go across this state. ASA plans to have petition drives in all 100 counties in North Carolina, instructing our state legislators to pass legislation to protect these patients. And federally, on a federal level, asking Congress to reschedule so that doctors can write a prescription for patients and they won't be arrested. That's all we're asking for.
I hope that it'll bring to the people who needs it clean marijuana for medicine.
Local advocates for medical marijuana look for support in the mountains.
She recently started the Western North Carolina chapter of the Americans for Safe Access group. Marlowe says this group should be a good fit in what she calls the heart of the Bible Belt.
What other place would you want to explain to people that the medicine that you need is a medical necessity that God created? How can anybody argue with that?
Marlowe says the ASA is currently planning petition drives in all 100 North Carolina counties to convince state lawmakers to protect medical marijuana users.
Asheville police are looking for a man they say caused a 4-car pileup and then
Put a stop to that.
And the police officers went in and busted it, and they didn't find anything but my medicine.
If asked to, I'd vote for her again.
The Marlowes say Steve's arrest is an example of what the ASA will fight against in Western North Carolina.
These mountains have been rich in history for the medicines that have come out of these mountains for years. It's not just cannabis, but cannabis was around here in these mountains and used for medicine before it became illegal.
In Polk County, I'm Jeremy Butterfield, News 13.
You know, there are misconceptions or there are preconceived conceptions about marijuana, but there are also legal issues. It is still illegal, you know.
That's debatable.
Well, what do you think the reaction's going to be to having a local chapter?
Well, for one thing, I think now more and more people, due to mass communications and satellite and cable, I think more and more people are aware of the fact that the federal government has been giving marijuana as medicine to people for over 25 years in this country. And these patients have had no problems with this medicine. They're giving it for free. They get 300 marijuana cigarettes a month in a tin can from the government. And that's 10 a day for these people. And I think the government standard of 10 a day is fine. You know, that should be fine for most patients. I don't have a problem with it. But for them to allow it to only 6 people and then to lay the brand of criminal on every other patient in the country that their doctors are saying, but this person needs this. For this person, it is a medical necessity. The government goes, oh well. But I think more and more people are aware that this is wrong. I think the science is out to the fact that more people are aware that marijuana is a medicine.
Will you be encouraging people to contact you if they want to be members and that kind of thing?
Oh, sure.
Okay. And
anybody that wants to be a member, anybody who wants some more information, or any patient or caregiver, let them know they can contact us.
And can they find that kind of stuff on your website too?
Mm-hmm. And the local website will be going up soon, you know, just within the week it'll be up.
Scroll back up to the top there and I'll get the ASA. And keep scrolling just a little bit. There we go.
If y'all just want to kind of walk down there and walk right past me and ignore the camera.
Alrighty. Everything will be fine.